Today we are going to talk about my 12 months in the Netherlands, more like 12 months-ish of living in the Netherlands. I stayed there technically for almost 12 months exactly. I left, I think, a week before it became completely 12 months. So it's been technically a whole year since I live in the Netherlands. As you can tell now, just by my whole video and view, you could tell that I'm not in the apartments that you guys have been seeing in my reflection videos. Disclaimer, I moved back home from the Netherlands and I just needed some time to think about my time there and just reflect in general. So that's why there is a little bit of a delay in presenting this reflection video. I also wanted to talk about just the moving out process and all that relation to the Netherlands, because this is my first time renting out of the country and it's a lot different than you would think. So let's talk about moving and just the stress that comes with it. I think the last week I literally smelled like bleach. Most of my clothes that I was wearing to clean the house has got some type of bleach on them, and yeah. So I want to talk about landlords. You need to know that they're not your friends, and I was on the Reddit of Netherlands housing, and people keep saying like landlords are notoriously terrible, and the truth is they are correct. Terrible in terms of like when it comes to communication and landlords are notoriously bad. But there's a new rule where landlords have to send back your money within 14 days of your key handover, and if there's no issue. My landlord was very communicative when it was time for us to head out. Like they were told me a month in advance, but when it came to sending over the money, we got like zero response, and then I had to keep letting them know. And then all of a sudden they were like charges that I didn't know as tenant owners that it was our responsibility. And so that includes black mold. And the reason why there was black mold is because there was poor ventilation from the house. So it was our fault that there was poor ventilation in the house, and we lost some money because of some of the electrical cord and sockets were falling apart. But again, we didn't know that was also our responsibility. It made us to the point where we were considering, why are we doing these things as renters? It seems like we're doing things that it looks like we technically own the house, but we are paying rent to a landlord so we don't own the house, but we're doing anything that a typical homeowner should be responsible for. So yeah, that's when I noticed that the Dutch culture is really ingrained into even housekeeping, because they are very cheap. They were finding out ways for us to not get our full deposit back, which includes a little bit of paint wears and tears, but that's just due to timing and discoloration of paint. And especially when you have a white paint house, it is very easy to see it age. Anyways, my tip is another tip for me is that go to places that don't have furnitures. It might look good in the pictures that everything's furnished, and especially when you're moving to a new country, it's less stressful because everything's furnished, but you can be fooled from the pictures. As time passed and towards the end of my time staying there, I realized I did not like the furnitures, and also I didn't feel like I could decorate the place to my liking, because inevitably I would have to leave the place. So yeah, so that place felt like never really homey, but that was just my overall reflection. The reason why I'm saying that now, because we got our deposit back. It's a free market, baby. like I said earlier, like our landlord blamed us for the lack of ventilation, leading to black mold. But how am I supposed to blame? How's that my fault? The ventilation is based on the house, and it's damp because we live in the Netherlands. Anyways, moving on. So that's just about renting in the Netherlands. Let's talk about nightlife. Towards the end of my time in the Netherlands, I actually went to Nightlife, but I actually went by myself. Do I miss it there? Yes, because going back here, it closes early versus there it closes at 5 a.m. and it starts at 1 a.m. technically. So I'm gonna put some clips of my time experiencing going to Nightlife by myself. I do want to say that coming back to America for a bit and experiencing the nightlife, I miss American pop music. Like, where is Ariana Grande? Where is Charlie XCX? Like, there's a new album that everyone's talking about, but... Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, it's nighttime. Or actually, you can't really tell because I'm in my bathroom. But today, I kind of want to show you guys, like, Groningen at night. I feel like all the videos you see about Groningen is usually during the day, and when we have, like, events such as Vishmart, and it's gorgeous and beautiful, but I think Groningen itself is also really beautiful at night in terms of the nightlife. Like, I think people watching here is like, you're used to Netherlands, you're used to Amsterdam nightlife, but I kind of want to show you Groningen nightlife, which is 2 hours north of Amsterdam. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna definitely show you guys around like the gay scenic vibes because I am, and it makes the most sense. But gays and straight people, they hang around each other, but I do believe today the Moz, which is like a gay club, maybe a sex club, is free for people under 35, so I feel like I should take advantage. I don't have to stay the whole time, but definitely check around, because I've done that in Amsterdam by myself, and I also done it with my partner, friends, and family, so it doesn't hurt to try this out myself, because I already did it once. What makes it different than the other time? Anyways, I just want to show you guys like life in Groningen at night, because that was part of my life for the last year. And then on top of that, when I went with my friends or my friends came to visit, we had a lot of fun in Groningen at night. It's just surprisingly we didn't really record much of our time together, and maybe because we're just living in the moment and having fun, but definitely want to show it now just for memory's sake and just for like the jazz, and just in case things change in the next few years. I think this is a cute little documentary. Now, with that being said, before I head out of this house, I am at least 2 drinks in, and I feel great. So I am super excited to see how this night goes. I might bring my family with me, my family partner technically, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have some fun today, some vibes today, all that jazz. Alright, time to take you guys on the journey. And also, my hair is so long right now. I want to cut it, but there's a part of me that's like, I kind of want to see like long hair Jonah, but anyways, let's go. Okay, so I just went to one of the club, Cafe de Prince, and I am 2 hours late from when they opened the dance club, but apparently it was empty. So apparently it gets busy at 1 a.m, so I'll show you that, but... Alright, a car decided to come in
but it's very empty actually. And apparently at 1 o'clock it becomes really busy, so I'm gonna see at 1 o'clock if it's actually pretty busy for the club. And it's free, but it was just completely empty. It had good music. It was good American music, so it's definitely a little bit backwards. They were playing Call Me Maybe. Like, I was waiting to hear like Charlie XCX or like Troye Sivan or anything recent, even like Ariana Grande's newest album, but that's it. And now I'm gonna check out the street that we considered buying in case it's good. Okay, update. I'm back after biking from the city back to home because unfortunately, according to the club bartenders, it gets crazier at 1 a.m. And I live here for a year, which also tells me how much I haven't been going out. But I guess I have to wait till 1 a.m. for it to get lit because the club, I literally took a picture and posted on Instagram, but there was no one dancing. The music was good. If it was in the 2000s or 2010, I was like expecting some Charlie XCX, I was expecting some Ariana Grande. But no, we got some Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, which isn't bad, but where's that Apple song? Anyways, I walked around the city. I walked through the red light district. You know, you can't record in the red light district, and even the girls are bored. And I was like, oh, I feel this, girls. Anyways, I am going to take a 2-hour break because it's only 11:30, and see if I have the energy to go into the city at 1 o'clock. And I might bring Michael. I might not. We'll see. We'll see because I want to take advantage of the fun stuff and it's free and all that jazz. Yeah. It's crazy. I saw the drag karaoke from a distance and it was super crowded. It looked super busy, but we'll see how that goes. All right. Anyways, I'm making some bitterballin because I need to eat. I got a free drink and that drink all of a sudden was heavier than the mojito. So anyways, alas, let's get it going.
Okay, so I actually joined the local gay nightlife Discord. So hopefully when I come back and I put my say, it's implemented. All right, the third thing, let's talk about my people, my Vietnamese community in my city. I'm gonna put a small clip of my reflection, but overall, I had a really bad time. I was surprised that despite the Viet community being really small, they are not welcoming, which it kind of triggered me because I seen that experience going back to my hometown, like in the Viet community there. So I wasn't surprised, but just disappointed in my people. But that's okay. I got so much love and much respect from a lot of other places, such as, surprisingly, Dutch people, the gay scene, and even like the Caribbean folks are very welcoming. So yeah.
Okay, so I just went to Jungtu Festival in my city, well, nearby. Well, it's still my city, but it's in Bayum. And first of all, this is my first time in Bayum, so it's very interesting itself. It's very different from the city center. And okay, let's talk about my experience here. It was very triggering, and I actually had kind of a terrible experience here. This was my first time going to an event that is very catered toward Vietnamese people, and I'm super excited to meet the Viet people. But when I was there, I am clearly reminded on Viet people not being welcoming and being super cliquey and all that. Like, one of my biggest shock is that when I went there, I went by myself, so, I was like, okay, I can use that momentum, being the only Vietnamese person, they would be welcoming, the director would be welcoming, people would be welcoming, and I was bamboozled because they were not welcoming. I thought I would be able to find my community here, but in reality, maybe my community is not with the Viet people. And then on top of that, they had events that they should say it's mostly for children and for families, because there I didn't even see like a single young adult there. And if they were there, they didn't last that long, because most of the events, like the lantern making, even the painting and all that jazz, was catered towards younger people or just people with family. And unfortunately, I don't relate, but this is also the community that I grew up with, where they're not as welcoming as they are, and it's just sad. But we are from the same branch, I could tell. And then on top of that, on top tippity top, I speak Vietnamese. Like, maybe not as fluent as I thought, but definitely not as weaker than them, because they literally were gossiping about me on like, oh, like he's by himself and he like doesn't know what to do here and he has nobody. I'm like, and then this is hilarious. Then I walked to them and spoke Vietnamese, and they play that same tactic that I know my parents do, which is a very triggering tactic. It's the idea where they pretend they dumb, like they don't know what you're saying. And it's like, girl, like, I know English, I know Vietnamese, and I know enough Dutch to understand what you're fucking saying. So it was triggering, because it reminded me like the community I kind of grew up in, and also like some. Anyways, and on top of that, let me add on to that. After the performance, literally all the people who weren't Vietnamese like left. Like they left because I think maybe they knew that the dinner part and the disco and the karaoke part is only going to be catering to Viet people. Or yeah, but anyways, it was just not a good experience, and it was quite triggering because I didn't want to, like, it looked like my childhood, and the idea of the homogeneity, but it's just too much. It's too much. And the thing is, for a lot of people wondering, I actually stayed for 2 hours just to, vibe out and trying to see. And literally no one approached me. They just stared at me. And I'm not expecting, like, I had to take the effort. I did. I went to them and I said, hey, like, is this where the food is? Like, hi, like, I just moved here. And I didn't even, like, oh, welcome. I didn't even get that. Why did I have to welcome myself to the whole thing? Like, I literally had to welcome myself to the event. I'm just like completely shocked. Anyways, that was my experience with meeting the Viet community here, and we're not even that big of a community, but I can tell you that I am disappointed. Yeah.
Okay, and now the question that you guys want to know: do I miss the Netherlands? What are the future plans? And all that. first of all, I will say this multiple times in all my reflection videos. I cannot believe it was a year. I feel like I have so much to learn. And I feel like a year was not enough for me. And I watched so many YouTubers and they said it takes a couple of months and year to adapt depending on your personality and your mindset and your values. So I definitely do want to head back to the Netherlands and just experience it again and be much more open-minded. I was so shocked culturally, despite everyone thinking that, you know, I went to America, to another European country, it would be somewhat the same, but it actually wasn't. So I'm super excited to go back and just tackle that again with a better plan and just be much more open-minded and to have fun and live a little. So, yeah. And that is it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about my 12-month reflection, but I will be back in the Netherlands, and I'm super excited to show you guys more of the Netherlands. But until then, you guys are going to get a lot of more American vlogs or videos and sit-down conversations. And I'm super excited for you guys to see. I'm going to see a lot of my friends, and we all live in different states now, so that'll be really awesome to show you different states.